Hello, good evening, Black family. A thought just came across my mind real quick about how in this fight for reparations, how are we going to, one thing we need to do is stop letting others into our movement. And when I mean others, I mean those who will deceive us and try to hurt us. I mean every other group. Actually, every other main group, because subgroups can be in our movement. When I say subgroups, I mean other groups that we as Black folks are part of. For example, the LGBTQ, they are gay Black folks. Gay Black folks have a voice in this movement. That's just to me, by me. That's what I think. You know, I'm not ADOS, but I'm a supporter of ADOS. And I do know that there are probably some gay Black folks who are ADOS. But we need to stop letting other groups into our conversation. And, you know, that even includes some other Black folks, you know, those of us who are not ADOS and don't want to see ADOS get their reparations. They need to be excluded. Because, you know, you'll have some Black people that hate on the ADOS movement. You probably do out there somewhere. You know, we have some Black folks in that movement who are against the ADOS movement. We have some Black folks like that probably somewhere along.
Birther style attack. But the president's son was actually seized.
Sorry. Listen to Mr. My Views on YouTube. My bad. But we have to kick others out and get what we want as people. We got to come together and support each other's movements, whether it's ADOS or Pan-Africanism, or maybe it's just not a movement of a certain title. Because, you know, I don't really claim anything at all. Me personally, I don't claim religion. A lot of things I don't claim. I believe that we can agree to disagree. So maybe one thing that ADOS likes to do, and I might disagree with it, but guess what? I'm going to support ADOS wholeheartedly. Going to support them wholeheartedly, regardless of whatever, whoever says what, I don't care. So, we as Black people have to come together and kick others out of the group. Hispanics don't need to be in there. Whites don't need to be in there. Jews don't need to be in there. Arabs or anyone from that part of the world doesn't need to be in there. It needs to be just Black folks. And we have our own thing our own safe space. Because there's a lot of us, you know, we get our white folks, and a lot of white folks are arrogant and ignorant. And it's so infuriating to just have to deal with that, you know. And I know, because I do run Lyft, and I have mostly white passengers. And sometimes dealing with them, especially on these issues, can be like a whole other world. Because it's like, okay, they think one thing, and they think that we should listen to them. And sad thing is, a lot of Black folks do. So we have to get off of that, man. Gotta have our own groups, our own chit chat, our own stuff. Kick everyone else out the group chat. This is a space for Black people. And it's funny because, you know, I listen to a lot of the new Black media channels, and you'll find a ton of white folks on that channel. And I'm not disrespecting them at all. I'm just saying, you know, we never have a space to ourselves, and we need one. We need somewhere we can just talk, just us. Not no one else interjecting into our group messages or our group communication. And we have to get together and unify. That's what we have to do. So that was just here's my little P's and Q's. And this goes up to white folks too, and I'm always saying this. You see what happens on the news, and you see when black men and women are shot down in the streets. What do you think? I'm not asking you because I really care. But if you feel that, okay, it's justified at all times, then don't comment. Leave us alone. You stay where you're at with your racism, and you stay over there. Now, for those of you who think that it's wrong and that something should change, I implore you to, go create your own media space or whatever in your own groups and fight to change the system, because guess what? You guys have a lot of power. It's you guys who run the country right now. That's changing, and it's a good thing, but it's you guys who run the country right now. And it'll go a lot further if you guys say this has to stop. Because some of you have black children. Some of you don't have black children, but have woken up to it and realized what's going on and see it. Some of you have grown up side by side with black people in the community, and probably have a lot of black friends, and realize something is wrong. And you realize how arrogant other whites can be. You have to call that out. It's up to you to really push the change. And well, not up to you, but you guys have a lot of voice too. You guys can help in that fight. You don't have to unify with us. Black folks don't need you as a part of our group. If anything you can do, donate to black causes. Spend your dollars with black people. A lot of us want to have our own business or whatnot. But guess what? You go online, you share it, you tweet it, you spend your money with it, and that's it. Just like how black folks go to our own business and spend our money, you can come over here and spend our money too. Just don't tell us how to run our business, and don't tell us what to do. Leave us alone. Come, do business, that's it. That's it. But you guys, especially, I notice a lot of black men are going with a lot of white women and swirling, and a lot of them having kids with them. Those of you white women who have a black child have even more of a reason to speak out, because if you don't, how can you love your child but see someone who looks like your child get shot in the streets and be okay with it? That to me doesn't add up. I mean, sorry, this is part of your history, with all the raping and the pillaging that you have done. But today, I implore you, the small amount of you, or whoever feels that whether it's large or small, start your own channels. Start your own media group. Let there be a new white media that actually says, you know what, this system has to change, and we have to make right. We have to fix what we have done to all the other groups of people, especially black people. If y'all come out with that shit and generally mean it and start fighting for it, and change the narrative and say, you know what, and tell your own people, because guess what, I do feel like if a white person says it's a white person, it might come as a shock, but they might receive it better. I do think so. Because I think a white person can understand another white person a whole lot better than a black person can. It is the same way with another black person. A black person understands a black person, or should be able to understand a black person better than a white person or any other group. So I implore you, start your own stuff. You don't have to follow what we do. You don't have to be in our spaces, but you can start your own groups and educate your own people on racism and white supremacy. You can do that. Matter of fact, you can even go ahead and start businesses and hire people fairly and be nice and be polite and be kind to people and not implement all this racism. Because I know there's a big fear that once you guys go into the minority, everything that you have done to other people is going to be done unto you. The only way you can fix it is if you make it right now. And you have the opportunity to do so while you're still in control, and you're losing control every day. So either way, life is going to balance itself out. And some of you will make it right, a lot of you won't. But I implore you, start your own groups, start your own channels. That's just my little commentary for tonight. Have a good one.